Atlanta has ranked as the #2 dream city for families to want to move to and live in. But the funny thing is most families don't end up choosing Atlanta. They choose the suburbs. The northern Atlanta suburbs consistently rank as some of the top choices for these families. More specifically, downtown Alpharetta and Forsyth County have exploded, and we are seeing many families choose these areas. But I'll get into that in a minute. So after living here for over 20 years now, I wanted to share with you why everybody is leaving Atlanta and coming north. And after helping over 1,000 families buy and sell real estate in Georgia, this is not going to be the typical information you're going to find on a blog or another video. The cost of living reality. One of the biggest reasons people don't want to live in Atlanta anymore is the cost of living. I had a client relocating here from Chicago just last month, and they could not find a single-family home with a yard in their desired school district for under $1 million. So then we started looking north, and then even a little further north to find everything they wanted, and even a little more. While online sources may tell you the median Atlanta sales price is around $380,000, that's just not the full story. In the city's safer and more desirable areas, you're just looking at significantly higher prices. And not only that, Atlanta has experienced significant increases in home prices, with median home prices within the city limits increasing 23% in just a year, which makes urban living increasingly more expensive. So here's what's really happening in the Atlanta real estate market. $400,000 might get you a 1,200 square foot home. Often, it's older construction that needs updating. Tiny lots, if any outdoor space at all. Higher property taxes. You're getting hit twice with city and county taxes. Less parking space, higher insurance rates, and more expensive utilities. This is something huge when we compare it to what you're getting in the northern suburbs. For example, for around $400,000 or $500,000, you can find a house with a yard, even some new construction in some of these suburbs. Besides, there are those hidden costs that nobody tells you about. In the northern suburbs, you're going to find better property taxes, lower insurance rates, better utility prices, more energy-efficient homes, meaning lower utility bills, built-in amenities that you don't have to pay extra for, and HOAs that actually give you a good value for your money. And speaking of HOAs, I know they can be a bummer, but many of these suburbs have them as amenities like swimming, tennis, dog parks, now pickleball. There's all kinds of things, even playgrounds, and a lot of them have access to golf courses and nature walking trails. Now let me give you a real example. I just helped a family relocate from Atlanta proper to Alpharetta. They were paying about $3,500 a month for their lease. The home they were in, I would say it was about 1,500 square feet for that. And there was no yard. Now, they are so happy. They have a 2,800 square foot home in a fabulous school district, and they even have a yard. And the best part, they're actually paying less per month. We'll actually talk about that school system in a minute. And here's something that nobody else talks about: property appreciation. These northern suburbs are seeing incredible growth for their property values. Areas like Alpharetta, Milton, Forsyth County are consistently seeing property growth year after year, and oftentimes outperforming Atlanta proper. School systems and education. Almost bigger than the affordability problem happening in Atlanta, we are seeing so many people move to the Atlanta suburbs because of the school systems. Don't get me wrong, there are some fabulous schools in Atlanta, but when we compare them to the northern options, we get truly impressed. Let me show you why these northern suburbs are just crushing it when it comes to education. First, we have the Fulton County schools, with average SAT scores consistently over the state and national averages, a 95% graduation rate in the North Fulton schools, and specialized programs like international programs and STEM academies. Then you have East Cobb schools that are consistently ranked #1 in Georgia, with options like Walton High School, ranked in the top 100 nationally, and Pope High School, which is recognized nationally for its music program. When it comes to educational excellence, Forsyth County stands among the elite, ranking 3rd out of 177 districts statewide and 230th nationally out of 10,561 districts. The district's academic excellence speaks volumes, with a 96% graduation rate, average SAT scores of 1280, and impressive proficiency rates of 67% in math, 63% in reading. Home to outstanding schools like the Alliance Academy, Academy, which is ranked 2nd in Georgia and 3rd nationally, and Lambert High School, which is ranked 9th in Georgia. The district excels in college preparation with AP participation rates reaching 65% and strong college readiness index scores ranging from 30.2 to 73.7. Beyond academics, the student-to-teacher ratio is 20-1 in most of those classes, ranks 15th out of 172 for athletics in Georgia, and has earned an A+ in clubs and activities, making it a comprehensive environment for students. I can tell you that the schools are a big reason why we chose this area. Right now, I have got 2 children in the Forsyth County school districts. They're both in high school. They are just killing it. One, my son, who is a senior, he just got into Auburn. That was his dream school. My oldest child is actually at UGA, very well prepared from the school systems. It's a tough school to get into. Let me tell you, if you guys have kids that are graduating or UGA's on their mind, you know how hard it is. And then my youngest child, Nolan, is at Mill Springs Academy. It is a fabulous school in Milton. It is a private school. The reason he is there is because it focuses on kids with ADHD. He has autism, very high functioning. He is doing wonderful there. There are so many options. I can't even tell you, but I'm happy to talk to you about it. And then finally, we can't forget about the Gwinnett County school system. That is another great option. There are over 21 different languages spoken and tons of programs like STEM and STEAM initiatives. Also dual enrollment opportunities and language immersion. But what makes these schools special that makes someone in Atlanta want to make that move? Well, first, you've got resources that you just might not find in the city school system, such as foundation support. These are not just your typical PTAs, though those are wonderful too. These foundations are raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to support the children with things like advanced technology in the classrooms, special enrichment programs, and additional teaching resources, and more. Besides, the extracurricular things are impressive, with opportunities that flows from championship sports programs to award-winning arts departments, robotics teams competing nationally, debate teams winning state championships, and music programs performing at Carnegie Hall. These schools are designed to build kids into Georgia Bulldog stars. So here's my insider tip. If you're moving to the area and schools are a priority to you, you're going to want to look carefully at the school district boundaries. Sometimes just moving a few roads over can put you in an entirely different school district. And a funny thing, in the neighborhood that we live in, there was so much growth and so many new schools, and because of all the kids coming here and families coming here, that the neighborhood we live in at one time, not now, but at one time, was even divided as to where we were going to go to elementary schools. That was crazy. You should have seen the uproar. I mean, it took some time until things shook out differently, but there were a few years in there that, you might have a friend at the neighborhood HOA pool going to a completely different school than your child. So make sure you check that. That is very, very important. Make sure you check the portal and you check the websites to see what are the plans for the future, or ask your agent about it. They're gonna know. Traffic and transportation. If there's one thing people hate Atlanta for, it is the traffic. So will living in the North Atlanta suburbs actually save you from this traffic nightmare? Let's talk about it. You're probably thinking about how living in the northern suburb will add up for your commute time if you're still working within the city, or if you just simply enjoy spending time there. While this is probably true, things can add up big time when you think about the other benefits of living in the suburbs. For example, you could find a new job in the suburbs. Many companies are moving their headquarters there. And there's many new big developments that are increasing job opportunities in the suburbs. This can definitely save you some time. Besides, there's still that work from home revolution that many people are partaking in. And that gives you even more time to access things that you can readily get from the suburbs. Like, for instance, a day at Lake Lanier, which is just a few minutes from many houses in Forsyth County. Or maybe you want to live near Sawney Mountain Park and you can hike up to those Indian seats every day. Or perhaps an afternoon in the Dahlonega wine country. That's something you definitely got to try. Many times when you live in Atlanta, you're thinking all of that's too far, but wow, if you actually live in the suburbs, that is right at your fingertips. And let's not forget about all the transportation features that you're going to have access to by living in the suburbs. Not only do you have some well-planned streets and roads, they're going to be less congested. There's going to be better parking options. Just imagine no parking meters. And there's lots of walking and biking trails. When considering your location, don't just think about your work commute, think about your school commutes. Yes, access to schools, shopping, and recreation. Sometimes just moving a few miles away or just a few streets away in a different direction can completely change the traffic pattern that you're gonna face every day and make life a lot easier. But living in Atlanta's northern suburbs, I get people asking me, is there even anything to do in the suburbs? Is it all just big box chain kind of things? What's it actually like living there from a local? Well, we're seeing a complete transformation at the way people live, work, and play in these areas. And it is incredible. Cities like Alpharetta have the crown jewel like Avalon, which you may think is just like any other shopping center, but in fact, it's a complete lifestyle destination. Imagine walking out your front door to high-end boutiques, amazing restaurants, and a luxury movie theater all within steps. During the winter, there's an ice skating rink that transforms the plaza into a magical wonderland. In the summer, the whole community comes alive with concerts and events that'll make you feel like you're at a resort rather than in suburban Atlanta. But Avalon, it's not the only star in the suburb. Downtown Roswell's Canton Street has become incredibly charming. It's a vibrant area where you can spend entire weekends exploring local boutiques, trying farm-to-table restaurants, and enjoying wine tastings. There's always something happening, from seasonal festivals to weekly farmers markets. Now, even Forsyth County is following suit. We've got Halcyon, we've got the new Cumming City Center, and even Collections is growing. Halcyon is a 135-acre mixed-use development located in southern Forsyth County. Fun fact, it's actually an Alpharetta city address. Halcyon features retail stores and restaurants, a food hall called Market Hall, Cinebistro Cinema with in-cinema dining, residential units including apartments, senior living, single-family houses and townhouses, office space, 2 hotels, and a Mercedes-Benz Experience Center. Now let's talk about these master plan communities because they are absolutely game-changing. Take a look at communities like Milton and Johns Creek. We're talking resort-style pools that 5-star hotels would be jealous of. Tennis courts that look like they could host professional matches, and clubhouses that feel more like luxury social clubs. These aren't just amenities, they are lifestyle enhancers that create this amazing sense of community. And speaking of community, oh my goodness, let me tell you about the social scene. These neighborhoods are organizing everything from wine nights, bunco nights, to kids' playgroups, and tennis leagues to book clubs. It's like having a built-in social network right in your backyard. The outdoor lifestyle is absolutely incredible too. I mean, have you seen the Big Creek Greenway? It's this gorgeous 11.5-mile trail system that connects Alpharetta, Roswell, and Forsyth County. And don't even get me started about the parks. Fowler Park, incoming, feels more like a premium sports complex with its turf fields and amazing playground equipment. There are so many things happening in these suburbs, but do you want to know the best part? All of these amenities are actually building stronger communities. So now you know why everybody's moving out of Atlanta for these suburbs. Now let's talk about which suburbs they're picking and why. The first one is Alpharetta. If you're looking for that perfect blend of luxury and lifestyle, Alpharetta is absolutely crushing it. Near Avalon that we talked about earlier, you're gonna find downtown Alpharetta. Downtown Alpharetta is a 500,000 square foot mixed-use area with over a dozen chef-driven restaurants and a 330-room hotel and one of the best school systems. It's no wonder families are flocking here. Alpharetta is a thriving North Fulton city known for its exceptional quality of life. We just moved a client to downtown Alpharetta whose dream was to be able to walk out their front door to their favorite coffee shop and favorite yoga studio. And now they are living that dream. They both work in tech, their kids are in high school, so it's just a short drive to the kids' high school. They're loving life. It's a very, very fun area, and I'm so excited for them. And I love meeting them for lunch because it's just down the street from my office. The second spot is Milton, and that's really for those that want a slower pace and larger lots. So yes, Milton does offer larger lots, many equestrian properties, and that stunning North Georgia backdrop. In 2020, it was named the best city to live in Georgia, and ranked as the 3rd safest city in the state. The city maintains a rural heritage while offering exceptional living conditions, with 96% of residents explaining that it is the top place to raise children. Milton boasts large residential lots, top-rated schools like Cambridge and Milton High School, and it's just minutes from shopping and dining of downtown Alpharetta. I had a client earlier this year that wanted to be in the Milton High School district for their children to play sports there. We're gonna put an offer on this area called Crabapple. That is within walking distance to Milton High School, so literally the kids can walk out the door to the high school. Would that not be so cool? And then there's a new Starbucks there, which I will tell you, I have worked from that Starbucks at the time school gets out, and you don't want to be there because it's got a ton of kids that come there. But anyway, it's just busy, but it's a fun area to be in. But what they ultimately chose was just a little bit more land in a gated community nearby with a pool. And they found that to fit their needs a little bit better, although they almost pulled the trigger on that one where they could walk to school. Next up is Roswell, where I would say historic charm meets modern conveniences. The Canton Street restaurant scene is incredible, featuring the vibrant Canton Street area known for its unique restaurants and shops. The city offers proximity to the Chattahoochee Recreation Area, providing extensive outdoor activities. With a rich historical background and convenient location near Atlanta, Roswell appeals to those seeking a balanced lifestyle with cultural depth and recreational opportunities. So we had a client with a child with disabilities. They actually have 3 children in total. They really loved that downtown Roswell and wanted to be close to 400 because the husband needed access to that to get to the airport easily for his job. We were looking for one level living, and we found just that for them. In fact, it was really close to the daughter's special school that they needed to be by. It was a house that they needed to rehab, bring things up to code, make it more livable, but they ended up making it their own, and it's absolutely stunning. The fourth is Johns Creek. Johns Creek consistently ranks as one of the safest cities in America. Plus, you've got those nationally ranked schools that we talked about. We recently sold a townhome to a couple in Johns Creek. They were newly married. They wanted a townhome because they did not want to have any exterior maintenance to deal with. They didn't have kids yet, but schools are important, guys. They targeted Johns Creek because they knew the resale value would be great given the schools. And last but not least is Forsyth County. It is a highly sought after area because of the schools. In fact, when we moved here 20 years ago, we came here for the schools, and we didn't even have kids yet. So we've gotten to experience that growth firsthand. These schools consistently rank in the top of the state, including 10 national blue ribbon schools and a high graduation rate of 94%, making it ideal for families. The county offers a diverse job market with opportunities in healthcare, tech, and retail, all while maintaining beautiful parks and access to outdoor activities. You'll find that at Lake Lanier, with 30% of Lake Lanier's shoreline, well, it lies within the county. We just moved a family of 6 here from the city who wanted to get away from paying those high prices of private schools and have the wonderful public schools that Forsyth County offers. In fact, we found them a perfect home with the backyard basically being Sawney Mountain. And Sawney Mountain is wonderful. We actually hike there as a family all the time. Some of my kids love it, some of my kids not so much. They might complain a little bit, but it's wonderful to have that right here and easy to access. And it's just a short hike up to the top, and then there's this thing called the Indian Seats and incredible, incredible views. Anyhow, I'm so excited for this family because they get to do that whenever they want. The shift to the northern suburbs is not just a trend. It's a lifestyle choice that more and more are making for better opportunities, better schools, better communities, and surprisingly, a very healthy lifestyle choice in the suburban area. Choosing a northern suburb could be one of the best choices that you make. So if you're thinking about making a move to the Atlanta suburbs, I would love to help your family find the perfect community. My team and I specialize in helping families just like you making the transition as smooth as possible. Just email me or give me a call, and we'll start the process to help you find your next home. Oh, and before you go, if you want to find out where the ultra wealthy choose to live in the northern suburbs, you're gonna wanna watch our next video. I go through the wealthiest neighborhoods in the area. So just click up here to find out what the top areas are now.